Fasting. Why is it needed? Therapeutic fasting. What is it? Friends, I believe that there are various types of what is called asceticism. So for me, as an individual who explored different traditions in the past, including egoistic ones and others, I comprehend that there is something that you are cutting off and separating yourself from in order to gain a deeper understanding. The significance is singular. If you are capable of expressing no, you possess the power to obtain freedom and emancipation. You are unable to achieve substantial spiritual growth if you are unable to articulate the word no to yourself, your attachments, your madness, your ignorance, your rudeness, your obstinacy, yes, to something that does not permit you to live, move, comprehend this world, realize it. It is high time to say goodbye to that which hinders your progress and embrace a path of liberation and enlightenment. Fasting is an incredible practice that demonstrates how you can willingly let go of the most important thing in your life, showcasing the power of detachment and the potential for transformation. You are unable to live without food. More important is the act of breathing. There exist 3 types of consumption by an individual every single second. This is respiration, this is liquid, this is nourishment. Without respiration, not many individuals can survive for a duration exceeding 3.5 minutes. However, even those that take more than 15-20 minutes are definitely not acceptable. Devoid of water, lacking any specific liquid that can hydrate the human body, well, for a period of 3 days, my friends and I experienced a challenging situation. In the absence of nourishment, an unprepared individual is highly unlikely to endure for a period of time surpassing 40 days. I recommend starting with something simple. That is, first of all, you need to understand that there are different types of fasting. There is dry fasting, there is water fasting, there are some types where you abstain from certain things, I don't know, like meat or something. All of this is also possible. I call it fasting in my own way. I also refer to it as info fasting. That is, you have escaped from society, turned off your phone, and sat in a cave. Fasting. The mind does not receive new emotions, does not receive new information. After some time, if it's dark, your mind starts to create images on its own because it's used to perceiving these images. If they're not there, it will create them and perceive them on its own. Well, most likely he will draw something that bothers him, something that you can already work on. If someone went into caves, you know what I'm talking about. Literally, after a few hours in pitch darkness, a person starts to see things they've never seen before. Emotional fasting. Here there is already a certain type of discipline, a certain type of understanding of one's inner structure, and the ability to redirect attention. But in general, this is also one of the forms of fasting, where to start and what to do. I recommend the book, The Miracle of Fasting by Paul Bragg. His experiments are well described. Experiments of various people who have experimented in this field are well described. I worked on this book. I myself have experience, not very long, well, I have a week-long fasting, yes, 7 days without food, only on water, no solid food. Just liquids. I would like to inform you that after the 3rd day, there is a feeling that, well, it's possible like this, yes. The state is somewhat peculiar, sleep is disturbed, simple space is disrupted, there is some orientation, and after a period of time, you start to become slightly more sensitive to what is referred to as the feeling of the surrounding environment, as well as the feeling of oneself. There's a constant pulsation, a constant heat from the body. And within the body, certain magical processes are happening, I would say. For those who don't know what this is, I recommend it. No need to go straight for a week. Start with 3 days. 3 days. I recommend it to everyone, whether you have tried it, not tried it, know about it or not. Friends, this is truly a good practice. Ascetic practice. You consciously refrain from eating. You do not cause harm to yourself. If you possess consciousness, you clearly observe that part of yourself that requests food, and you respond, yes, yes, of course, but you will have to endure, because that is how I have decided, and I am the master of this house. Here we follow my rules, so we won't eat for 3 days. That's it. This is a good practice. It yields good results. First, you'll find out if you're the boss of the house. In their own, or maybe some collective minds of the simplest individuals, they still manage to achieve something worthwhile. In fact, this will become very clear and quickly evident. Individuals who do not possess a mental self-improvement practice, who are not highly conscious, will not be able to endure for a duration of 3 days, naturally, not at all. After a day, they'll feel like, well, I made it through a day. In reality, only after a day, a process gets activated. Again, it's important that if a person drinks water, and I suggest on water, specifically on water, not on dry, my friends, on water. Well, there are many reasons for that. We'll come back to this now. And the water should be plain water in bottles, like some aqua that is sold, meaning not mineral sparkling, not distilled, not some other kind, bottled drinking water. It is crucial not to include sugar or lemon drops in that area. Refrain from pouring any substances into it. Neither honey nor anything else, nor tea, nothing at all, just plain and simple water. The fact of the matter is, our body is designed in a specific manner, wherein after approximately 24 hours, if an individual does not consume food, the body switches to a different mode. This mode operates properly if your body is functioning correctly and can sustain you until you are able to eat again. This regimen is established in such a manner that you initiate the process of taking from within your own body those, let's say, deposits. Yes, there is always a small amount present that the body stores, yes, of fats and so forth. There is some excess cholesterol there, something else. So all of this starts to be absorbed quickly. That is, everything that the body doesn't need, during fasting it starts to clear out. During fasting it starts to do something about it. In my opinion, this is a very interesting process that everyone should experience. If you have fasted for a day, the process has just begun. Yes, it can start after 12 hours, a little later, but ideally a day is a normal routine. So you have entered the practice. The second day is when work is happening. That means the body will initiate readaptation processes. The consciousness will reveal processes that are troubling. In other words, what lies inside will try to come out. By the third day, they're amazing. They show you understand you can go without food, no need for it at all. Observe all the time that has been freed up. No need to worry about food, no need to prepare anything for yourself, and so forth. After 3 days, you enter a state where you truly understand that you can live a long time without food. But there is a certain kind of danger here. Since the body goes into a shock mode, it doesn't quite feel the resources. If there has been a significant amount of intoxication in these deposits inside the body, and at the moment when you fast, the body can reach these deposits, and as a result, a person enters into a state of experiencing negative emotions due to the effects of the excess deposits. So, when you fast, you feel like you have some negative emotions. A state of intoxication, a strange state. In any case, as I see it, all these things need to be experienced. All this needs to be gone through. One needs to gain their own experience regarding what it is. And in the future, there's no need to be harsh. You may enjoy it. You have the opportunity to hold on to it and attempt to press this button as frequently as you can. This would be an error. Friends, once every week for the entire day. Normal, regular, as per usual. If you want to fast for 2 to 3 days, do it once every 6 months. If you desire an additional 7 days, perform the action once during a span of 3 years. You are not required to refrain from eating for a period of 4 days each week. That is a problem or a concern. Friends, in 3 words pertaining to dry fasting and water, indeed, dry fasting is a more profound and intensive form of processing that yields significant benefits for the body and mind. This is advantageous for individuals who are confident that their kidneys can handle it. That is one particular aspect that should be taken into consideration. The second point, this can be advantageous for individuals who are seeking a more rigorous form of asceticism and want to somehow test their resilience and determination in the face of challenges. In point of fact, when you partake of water, it is precisely those processes that are set into motion, specifically the processes of eliminating toxins and waste products from the body. I believe that before embarking on dry fasting, it is necessary to prepare the body. One must understand what fasting is in general. To start, try it with water. It's a bit easier psychologically, and at the same time, it's better for the body in terms of eliminating toxins. So, yes, the kidneys will be under strain, but you'll be able to flush out this waste and garbage. When you fast dry, many things can remain like bricks inside your intestines or in your structure. I do not recommend fasting dry. I suggest trying dry fasting when you have already had a positive fasting experience with water. In terms of mental and emotional fasting, I also highly recommend individuals who have already had the experience of physical fasting to locate a secluded place where they can engage in what is commonly known as a dark retreat for a period of introspection and self-reflection. Plan ahead where and how you will go to the bathroom and what will you eat. Naturally, you should stay in a closed room alone. There must be absolutely no light penetrating in that location. In other words, the room should be maximally isolated from sunlight and any external sources of light. 1 day is sufficient, but 3 days is even more preferable. During this time, you will see that inside you there is a reluctance to maintain the connection you have in the social world. Experiment, friends. Grow and evolve. Gain your experience. Thank you, everyone. Goodbye, everyone.